Hey, bonjour, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Zwicker, and I am a travel coordinator here. And this is Doreen Dunican here, our travel manager, our Wonderlord, as I like to call her. Anyway, thank you all for coming in person, and those of you on the Hangout, welcome. Um, Excited you guys are going to Lyon. That's awesome. Vive la France. Anyway, this is really important for us actually, especially with so many new folks. So to get an idea of what it's like to travel with the foundation and some of the points that we'd like to remind you of. So without further ado, I'll just get started here. Um, just the travel briefing, and this is, of course, France and where you are going. Um, and many of you are taking different modes of transport as well to get there, a lot of trains and planes and perhaps even a caravan. um, Anyway, first order of business is travel insurance. This is extremely important that all of you are aware that you are covered under United Healthcare Global while you are traveling outside of your home country for WMF business. This information will cover you in case of a health emergency, medical emergency, or any kind of safety emergency. If something happens and you need to be extracted or we need to get you to safety, then this organization is the one that will help us do that. If you have a medical emergency while you're traveling, if it's an emergency, just call 112 and in France and go to the hospital immediately. There's the toll-free number is here to call, and you can also call collect. We also have these laminated cards here if you do not have one or if you've lost it or whatnot. This is updated from previously, which was Frontier Medics that we were covered under. It's the same. It's the same. They just merged Frontier Medics and United Healthcare Global. They merged, and now it's just called United Healthcare Global.
So if you have a Frontier Medics card, it's still good.
If you have a Frontier Medics card, like Doreen said, it's still good. The number is the same. The number that you call is the same. If you say you're from the Wikimedia Foundation, they will immediately know, how to help you and so forth. This will not get you out of jail, though. So, but yes. Also, just a note. I mean, many of you are seasoned travelers and whatnot, and some of you may be traveling. You don't travel as often necessarily, but regardless of your experience, be safe and buddy up. I've posted the staff arrival and departure manifests on the wiki today, and I will update that if there are more people added and whatnot. Many of you are arriving on the same flights into Lyon, even people with, connections and whatnot. You may be meeting up with someone from Greece in Frankfurt or whatnot, okay, or departing as well. So be sure to look at those because that's really a great way to, meet up with those people and travel to the venue and to the airport on the return. Transportation. Alex has more information on this, and he's actually apparently made a video of how to get from the airport or the train station to the venue. And he'll share that with us later. Apparently it's being edited now. But they've worked out a deal with Uber to use this particular code to receive a €20 credit, which is great. So you can either take from the airport an Uber, which will take you, of course, directly to the venue, or if you can take the Rhone Express tram, which is €13, and I believe that will drop you at the main train station here. and getting from the train station to the venue. I have the Uber here, and Alex will have further information about that. And once he does have that, I will also be posting that on the Office Wiki as well. If you look, just search for Lyon Hackathon, it's in there, all the information. Okay? And these are just some beautiful photos of the flower tree and the amphitheater and the new modern section of Lyon. And unfortunately, the Light Festival will not be happening while you're there, but it's just so amazing and beautiful, and the pictures are stunning. It's definitely on my list now of festivals to go to. And currency, of course, France uses the euro, and it's a good idea to get some euro before you leave. You don't need to get a lot, but just enough for a few meals or taxis or train or whatnot. I mean, when I travel, I usually go straight to the ATM machine in the airport and get a little bit of money and then go on. But it's up to you what you prefer to do. Another important thing, don't forget to call your bank and tell them that you will be traveling to France and any other country that you will be visiting afterwards or before as well, because that fraud alert will hit you and you won't be able to use your card. They'll probably ask you for your exact dates of travel as well. So just really important to remember to do that. Also, using major banks when going to the ATM rather than at the airport or the train station. Although nowadays in some of the major airports specifically, there are larger banks, known banks that have ATMs. So, that's changing, and I've never really had a problem with that. Anyway, we will move on to credit cards. Magnetic strips versus the chips. So if you have a US issued credit card, the chances are likely that you have a magnetic strip rather than a chip card. It can pose a problem, especially for like kiosks or short unmanned kind of instances where you buy a ticket or whatnot. And some shops might not really be that keen on accepting the magnetic strip card. Now, between now and the time you leave, if you aren't leaving until the 21st, you could probably call your bank and request a chip card. I did this recently. Within like 3 days, I had a chip card. And in fact, my bank, without even me requesting it, sent me an ATM debit card that had a chip in it. And I was pretty shocked. So, and my partner as well received one from the bank. So US banks are starting to catch on, and they are starting to use the chip system. So we should definitely look into that if you don't have one. Okay. Food. All meals are provided from, during the hackathon days. And for those of you that are staying after or are there arriving early for events or meetings or whatnot that have been approved and is not sort of personal travel, then the per diem you can claim, which is approximately 83 euros. And this information I will add to the Travel Wiki as well. And your phone. Be sure to activate the global capabilities. And if you do have a WMF phone, tell Robert before you go so he can activate your phone for you to make sure we don't get those huge charges if you don't. And passports. I think I've spoken with several of you who had to either renew your passport or you didn't have enough time or whatnot on it, but just double check that you do have 6 months left on your passport. It's just a safe rule of thumb and you'll avoid issues. We do get notifications in Concur in your profile for when your passport expires and whatnot. And we do try to follow up and remind you of that, which I have done for several of you. And also make copies of your passport, you know, put it in your bag, put it in the safe in the room, or stick it somewhere safe. If you do lose your passport or it's stolen, it's just so much easier to get a replacement. And that, yeah, it'll just make your life easier. Also, keep your passport on you. Don't leave it in your room. Don't lock it up in a safe. Don't put it in a bag. Keep it on your body. Even if you're in the venue at the hackathon, just keep it on you. It should be on your body at all times, just in case, right? Um, it's just a safety thing. And also, just be aware, we've added this, traveling with prescription medications. We just really want you to be aware that some of the prescription medications that you have from your country may be illegal in the country you are traveling to. Generally, it's not a big deal, right? But just be aware that it's a possibility. And I've the OSAC. I mean, this is a U.S.-based one to check, but I've got the link on the wiki, and it's a good idea to just double check. And that also goes for buying over-the-counter medicines in France or whatever country you're going to that may be, you know, prescription medication or illegal in some way in your home country. This is very often the case. And I know people stock up on stuff and transport it and everything, and that's all great and fine until, you know, somebody gets caught or something, or someone's bags get searched. I don't know. Just be careful and be aware. That's the main point. Packing. I'm sure you're all packing experts by now, and you know, most of you probably are just traveling with a carry-on if you're just attending the hackathon, and some of you may be checking bags if you're traveling for longer or whatnot. Anyway, just remember, just pack light, keep it compact, bring a charger adapter, and have your medications in the original containers. And in your carry-on, make sure that you have your medications in the original bottles in your carry-on, and your valuables, and you know, some clothes or something in case you do check a bag and your bag doesn't show up. Itinerary information. Do leave that with a friend or family member. Just forward them that C-mail or something to your family or your loved ones, and just let them know, you know, what your schedule is. Take a photo of your bag if you're checking it. That's just because they all look alike, right? Nowadays, it seems. All right. Important, print out your travel documents. You all have, well, the majority of you, if we booked you here, you have emails from C-mail or Concur Travel, and it's a good idea to print those out. And also note, when you look at your reservation, there's so many code shares now, right? So look at the operated by. It may say Delta Airlines at the top, and you go to check in at Delta, and that is not the right place to go. So if it's operated by Air France, right, go check in at Air France. It's just a reminder to just review your schedule and kind of know where you're going and where you need to check in for your flights. Also, pay attention to schedule changes. So if you see an email from C-mail or Concur Travel while you are traveling or before you are traveling, please look at it. Often there may be a time change. It will indicate if there's a delay for the flights, and also it will just update you if there's a flight number change as well. So it's just something to be aware of and just, you know, pay attention to. Jet lag. Does anyone have any special jet lag cures? I mean, everybody's different here, but, you know, some of the tried and true methods, you know, set your watch to the destination time, sleep on that schedule, stay hydrated, avoid alcohol if you can, but you know, um, don't eat a lot either, and try to, you know, get up on the plane, move around, do those exercises, especially on those long haul flights. They often have a little video and they're like, oh, everybody do this, which is kind of fun. Or not. Uh, and when you arrive, of course, you'll be going through customs and immigration. Just make sure you have all your paperwork, you know, get that filled out on the plane before you get off, and just turn off your phone, or just, you know, silence it and put it in your pocket, and just be patient and as you go through customs and immigration. And strikes, wars, terrorism. There's a lot happening in the world now, and of course, it's strike season is upon us. Um, Hopefully, none of this will affect any of you while you're traveling. But do remember, just, you know, it's not you, it's not personal, it's just something happening, and you just need to, you know, take a deep breath and calm down, and just, you know, be patient, and you work through what you do. If we have booked your flights and there is a strike and something's canceled or whatnot, you can always reach out to Doreen or I, and we will help you. And also, if it's after hours, Travel and Transport, TNT, our travel management company, is there available to assist you 24/7. Okay? And that's especially important since the time difference for those of you traveling from the US. And also, traveling can be stressful, you know, and feel free to come and talk to Doreen or I if you have any issues, or just want to talk to somebody about traveling and so forth. Travel and Transport, as I mentioned, this is their number. This number should be programmed into your phone. Also, this number is also on your itinerary. It'll say Travel and Transport. This is the number to call. So if you don't get a response from Doreen or I rather soon, because we do monitor emails while we do have staff traveling for these larger events, then please feel free to call Travel and Transport, okay? They are there to help you. We are here to help you. Food. Bon appetit. And bon voyage. So you guys travel safe, be smart, and have fun. And any questions? No questions. All right. Alex? Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
very good.
Yes. Oh, yes, the insurance. We have those here if you'd like one. Doreen can. Sorry?
I was just wondering, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Moriel was asking about the laminated insurance cards, and we have them here. If you're in San Francisco, we can give them to you. You can stop by the travel area. If not, you guys, it's on the travel wiki. If you look at the Lyon Hackathon travel page, I have also added it. It's a PDF. You can print it out. It's just as good as any card or anything. Please print it out and put it in your wallet. It should always be there while you're traveling. Okay, anyone else? All right, Alex?
Yep. Okay, thank you so much for that presentation. I'll just get back on some points. So regarding transportation, so far we'll have some volunteers both at the airport and at the station, so they will be able to help you anytime you're coming. The Uber code, WM Act, will be available from the 21st only. So that like from 21st to 25th or 26th, I don't know yet. Regarding the credit and debit card, magnetic strips are pretty okay actually. My girlfriend is not French, and she's got one in France, and they're like taking it pretty much everywhere, except in the very small shops, for instance, if you need some tobacco or whatever. Um, for the phone, you said like to log off the data. So there will be like Wi-Fi everywhere at Valpré, like a good Wi-Fi. So you should be able to be fun with that without the 3 or 4G. And before you said the medication, so just remember, guys, that marijuana is not considered as a medication here in France. And regarding words, that should be pretty much okay. And I checked this no strikes announced at that time. To answer most question that I see just now, Uber code is only available for new accounts. But I guess you can, like, for instance, like create a new account and get that code. So I will get back on Uber. I will try right now to share our presentation. Cool. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So yeah, bienvenue à Lyon. Bienvenue à tous. First, a bit of history. So Lyon is supposed to be the province capital. It means that it's the capital of the rest of France. Paris is like strong capital here, and Lyon is like kind of the capital of the rest of it. And it was actually the gold capital. So a long time ago, during and after the Romans invasion, Lyon was capital of France. It has always been during the Middle Ages an important traffic way between Italy and Netherlands, and there were like lots of fairs that were organized in the city, and most of these fairs were concerning silk. That has been very, very important for the development of the city. There was lots of silk factory, and it was like really like the leader capital in the world. Cinema was created there, so the Lumiere brothers, they created cinema at the beginning of the 20th century. And more recently, Lyon was known to be the main place for resistance during World War II against the German occupation. So let's get back to cliché, because I've been traveling quite a lot, so I know that all of you guys, you have lots of cliché regarding France. So first of all, we do take showers. We don't have that famous French shower that consists of just putting pure perfume. That's not true. And our women do shave. We smoke a lot, too much, but we're trying to change that. So I guess you're all impatient to try the baguette, which is the most delicious bread you'll ever eat in your whole life. It's absolutely amazing. And we most of the time said that a meal with no wine is called breakfast. There was like wine every time, and especially in the region of Lyon, where they do like pretty good wine. In the end, our cab drivers and waiters aren't cool. That's a fact. That's not a cliche actually. Mainly because they are not paid with the tip. The same whether in the USA, they just like monthly paid non-regarding the quality of their work. So let's go to transportation, as it has been said before, Lyon Saint-Exupéry. Saint-Exupéry, I guess you all know him, is the dude that wrote Le Petit Prince. So that's the main airport in Lyon, and if you want to get by train is Lyon-Pardieu. Then you get the Uber, so I guess the code has been announced like WMAC, available from 21st of May. And there's also public transportation. As Doreen said, we actually recorded a video with the GoPro camera from the station to the place actually. So we're editing the video right now. We will share it with all the attendees soon, so that you will be able to see exactly how to get from the station to the Valpré. And in the same time, we will also write down all the steps to follow, because we know that you will not be watching the video in the street like that, like, oh, where to go, I don't know. For the Uber, it's 20 euro per person per new users. So basically, it's enough for one person from the station, from Pardieu, For the airport, it will be a bit short. So what we were suggesting and what we thought is that most of the people, they will come in group, at least like 2 or 3 persons if they can. And otherwise, like, well, we'll have one volunteer waiting for you guys at the airport or the station. We'll try to do some groups of 2 or 3 so that you can like share the Uber, and that way it will be free for everyone. So it's pretty cool from our partner Uber to give us that. Valpré. So Valpré will be the place where everything will take place. So as you can see, that's the main building where everyone sleeps, and just there are like some rooms. So just here, it's the main room. It's supposed to contain slightly less than 200 persons, and there's also several other smaller rooms that can contain 16 to 30 persons. Just over there on the left part, there's the main amphitheater where we'll have the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony. There's also below 2 other rooms that can welcome something like 100 persons, 2 of them combined. So what is good with that place is that you guys are all sleeping there, you guys are all eating there, so if you're not getting outside, you can spend 1 full weekend in your socks. That's pretty amazing. And as you can see here, there's like massive grass and some other grass parts around the building where we can plan barbecue, have sports. We'll have the very good Wi-Fi, so you'll be able to code from the outside if you want, which is pretty cool because the weather is supposed to be good. And just on the left, there's like also a small castle with some other room that you cannot see right now, but I'm not sure. But I guess you can see it on the Media Wiki page of the event. The program, so I guess most of you will arrive on the 22nd. 22nd will be the good opportunity of knowing each other, and what better to know someone else than to share food, especially French food. So we'll have some kind of quiz where we'll do teams composed of guys from WMF, folks from Lyon, and newcomers. So we'll have like kind of like a bit of everything, and we'll ask several questions regarding Lyon's history, regarding the Wikimedia history, or some coding skills, so that we're sure that the teams, they talk to each other. We'll try also to match the body in the same team so that they can start knowing each other. And we'll do that with some ham, cheese, French wine, everything for you guys. So the next day at 9 a.m. or 9:30, it's still not clear, we'll have the opening ceremony. We're trying to get the French Minister of Numeric Life to be here. We have good hope that she will come because we've met her several times. She likes what we do here in France. And we'll also have the president of like the most important numeric union in France that will be here. So we plan like a big opening ceremony to give more press attention to it, so that like the movement is like highlighted in France and the region of Lyon. Then for the whole day you will be coding or like agreeing on the programs you want to demo in the end, and at the end of the day we'll have some retro gaming evening. So we agreed with an association, and there will be something like 12 machines, you know, like the big machines that used to be before in the cafes, and also something like 30 to 40 console. I'm not playing video games, sorry. So it's like just like, you know, like the Xbox or the PlayStation, so the smaller one, but the old one, so retro gaming actually. On the next day, 24th, this will be like gala dinner. By gala, I mean that it will be like a better dinner. So instead of having a buffet, we'll have either a big barbecue outside altogether if the weather is good, or a big paella, so the Spanish meal inside if the weather is not that good. And afterwards, you will be free to hang around in the city if you want, because we already planned the night for the 22nd, for the 23rd. So we thought that it was good to give you the 24th if you want to discovering the city. And there will be the closing ceremony on the 25th, where you will all demo projects. and the nights from 25th to 26th is also included, so you should all be living on the 26th, guys. Thanks to Uber also to go to the airport or train station. Let's go to safety, because like that's the point where like we can have a real value regarding we're in France right now. So I would say the most important, if you take public transportation, is to be aware of pickpockets. That's kind of the same as everywhere in the big capitals in the world. You just keep your luggage or your bags close to you and try to see if like no one is like bumping you to get your hands in your pocket or whatever. So I guess if most of you are in San Francisco, you're already used to that. Also aware of gypsies that are offering free stuff in the streets. They're like coming to you and trying to tell you they found that golden ring that is worth so much, so maybe you can just buy it for 100 euro and sell it tomorrow for 2,000 euro. That's just bullshit. Sometimes they will just ask you to sign some paper for any cause, and in the end they will ask you for money because you've signed. So just beware of the gypsies and the guys offering free stuff, trying to make you sign in the street. That's not of a thing, and basically it's better if you don't buy anything in the streets, because there will be some, for instance, if you buy some clothes or whatever, some glasses, cool glasses in the street, most of the time it will be fake. You can say like all the time you will be fake, and you might have a problem at the customs afterwards. Also, it's preferable not to stay alone outside at night for a girl. It's just that Lyon is like pretty sacred. There's like cops pretty much everywhere, but like we never know. And plus, we're Latin, and sometimes girls can be like a bit like aroused, like some whistling guy or trying to be a bit insistent with compliments or whatever. So you just ignore it. It's like it's Latin countries. If you have been to France, Italy, Spain, it's like classic male wrong behavior. Also, contrary to you, drinking in the street is tolerated, but being drunk is not. So you don't have to hide your beer if you have one or whatever. You can just drink it. You just cannot show that you're drunk. And smoking tobacco is expensive, but we do, because like we're French, that's the cliche. And all drugs are forbidden, such as marijuana, which is not medicinal use. Passport. So we're not talking the same passport. Actually, to show you the city, we're thinking of a new way of discovering the city, and we'll create another passport, which will be called the Wikimedia Hackathon passport, where we will list all the cool places that you can go. So we have like several friends in Lyon, or even like some Wikimedia members are in Lyon. There's like a huge group, huge community that I guess you will see when you'll be there. And so they know all the cool restaurants, the cool coffee, the cool bar, the cool district to visit and everything. So we thought it will be nice from you to have like some passport with all the advice, for instance, the safety advice that I just gave you, plus the cool stuff to do over there. And we'll also buy for every restaurant, bar, whatever that is in there, some stamp, and like you can just show the passport to them, and they will like stamp you, so that when you get home you can like show your passport and be proud of it and say like, look, I've been doing that, so you will remember what you've been doing. Plus, like right now we got that talk, but there's like many persons that are not in this hangout right now that will not have the safety information or whatever. So it's best if everyone gets it when they arrive in the welcome pack. So that will be mainly just to give you an idea of the form of it. So it will be like kind of official passport form, appearance, and yeah, that's mainly it. Meteo, the weather is supposed to be good. So for those that knows degrees Celsius, supposed to be 23 to 26 at that time of the year, and for Fahrenheit, 73 to 79. I got no idea what that represents for you, if that's huge or not. I know that California is bone dry right now, but still. 23 to 26 is like pretty cool for that time, and we're actually quite hoping that it will be no rain. That is not quite our main care, because like we want you to enjoy outside grass and code outside and have the big barbecue outside. So there is a risk, but it's low. It's low. And so basically it's the end of it. Sylvain, tu voulais ajouter quelque chose? So I don't know if you guys have any question. Guys?
Yes, I had a question.
If there's any... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I have two questions, actually. First, about the Wikimedia Hackathon passport. I arrived earlier, actually, a couple of days earlier. So can I get a digital version of the passport with all the tips ahead of the event from you?
Of course, of course. I will just write down the address right now.
Well, I'll send you an email then.
You just send me the email, ask me for it, and so that I will have your contact information, and I will send you as soon as it's finished.
Awesome. And also, does Uber in Lyon have, can I request child seats for my Uber? Because I have some little kids also traveling with me.
Actually, I don't know because I don't have children, so I never asked any Uber. I will send email. I will send them email to us if it's doable, and I will keep in touch with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome. Is there any other question?
I think that's all the questions there are.
Okay, cool. If it was clear to everyone, that's great. Plus, like now you all have my email address, so I can like, if you afterwards get some more question, I will be glad to help you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thanks, Karen and Dorian. I think we're done. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.